me ask you something. How confident were you when you bought your first camera? Because for most photographers, that first purchase feels exciting right up until doubt starts creeping in. A few weeks go by, well, the photos don't look the way that you imagine, and suddenly you're wondering if you bought the wrong camera. Now, if that sounds familiar, I can tell you, you are not alone. What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. This is Shoot Happens, the series where, well, I break down essential photography topics in plain English. No tech overload, no marketing fluff, just clear, practical explanation so you can actually understand this stuff and make better decisions. With so many beginners following this channel, I get asked all the time about building a quality photography kit. And one question that comes up more than anything else, and that is, did I buy the right camera? Well, today we're going to be talking about why so many photographers buy the wrong camera, and more importantly, how you can avoid making that mistake yourself. If you like this kind of no-nonsense breakdown, well, make sure you subscribe, because this video is just one part of an ongoing series focused on common beginner questions, real-world photography problems. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. Now, the biggest reason people buy the wrong camera is simple. They start with the camera, not the photographer. Most beginners shop based upon specs, hype, recommendations from someone who shoots something completely different. They compare megapixels, frame rates, and autofocus points without really understanding how any of that applies to their actual shooting. Now, another common issue is buying with the future in mind instead of right now, today, the present. People tell themselves, well, I'm going to grow into this camera. The problem is that complex feature-heavy camera often slows learning instead of helping it. Now, for example, too many options on your camera can get in the way of understanding exposure, composition, and light. I mean, after all, it's hard to learn fundamentals of photography when you're overwhelmed by all the features of your camera. There's also a lot of pressure to buy what's new. Marketing makes it feel like your photos depend on having the latest model, when in reality, cameras from several years ago are still producing excellent images. The result? Overspending on features that you don't need yet while neglecting fundamentals that actually matter. And finally, there's fear. And this is a big one. Fear of buying something not good enough. Now, that fear pushes people towards more expensive cameras than their needs or experience really justify. Now, here's the truth. Your first camera should feel approachable, not intimidating. For example, ergonomics matter more than specs. If the camera feels good in your hands and the menus make sense to you, you're far more likely to get outside and use it. And using your camera regularly is what improves your photography, not chasing technical perfection. Reliability also matters as well. A solid, well-built camera that you trust encourages you to shoot more, take places, and experiment. Now, the best camera is the one that you don't hesitate to bring with you. Most importantly, your first camera should support learning. Now, that means giving you enough control to understand the concepts like exposure and focus without overwhelming you with all sorts of options that you won't touch for years. And for me, one of the best ways to get outfitted with the right camera is to invest in something used. Now, that of course brings me to the sponsor of today's video, MPB. Now, I've been buying used gear from MPB for years, so I can tell you exactly what the experience has been like. MPB has a massive inventory that is constantly turning over, which means you can usually find just about any camera or lens that you're looking for on any given day. Now, what sets MPB apart is how transparent they are. Every item is thoroughly inspected, graded, and listed with photos of the actual piece of gear that you're going to receive. So in other words, well, you know exactly what you're buying from the start with no surprises. Now, I've found MPB prices to be extremely competitive. Every time I've worked with them, their prices has felt fair and straightforward. They offer a 7-day return window and a 6-month warranty on most items as well. So having that peace of mind makes buying used feel a lot less risky, and their experts can help you find quality used camera gear that fits your needs without blowing your budget. So if you're trying to avoid buying the wrong camera, MPB is one of the smartest places to start. Plus, buying used changes the entire equation. When depreciation has already happened, well, you're free to focus on what actually matters: fit, function, and learning. Used gear gives you that flexibility as well. So if you realize a few months into this that you want something different, well, you're not stuck with a massive financial loss. Instead, you can sell or trade and adjust your kit as your skills evolve. It also removes pressure. So when you're not emotionally tied to an expensive new purchase, you're more willing to experiment, make mistakes, and most importantly, learn. That's precisely what beginners should be doing. Now, additionally, well, in many cases, buying used allows you to step into a higher quality camera than your budget would allow if buying new. And if you can do so without the regret that often follows a rushed decision, this sounds like a big old win-win to me. So here's the bigger takeaway. Buying the wrong camera isn't a failure. It's a sign that you were never taught how to choose the right one in the first place. Now, the best first camera isn't the newest, it's not the most expensive, or the one with the longest spec list. Instead, it's the camera that fits your hands, supports learning, and encourages you to shoot constantly. So when you shift your mindset from buying the best camera to buying the right camera for right now, photography becomes much more enjoyable and a lot less stressful as well. And this is exactly why this series exists, because so many of the frustrations photographers run into aren't about talent or effort, they're about missing context and relying on unclear advice. So with that said, if this video helped clear things up, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Shoot Happens is all about answering real questions and helping photographers avoid common mistakes. And there's plenty more coming. As always, thanks for tuning in with me here today. It's always an honor to see you. And with that said, friends, I'm going to be shutting off the cameras and I will see you in the next video.